Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel, Ariel and David's YouTube channel. Today is only David. I wanted to leave this video until I'm settling in the country before I do it, but I just thought about my people. I'm like, you know what? I have to leave this video out there for a lot of people who are trying to migrate to the United States through the CR1 and IR1 visa category. This is strictly for CR1 and IR1 visa category. Maybe a few things, yeah, for also the fiance visa as well. So if you are in Nigeria and you're trying to migrate to the United States through the CR1 and the IR1 visa category, this video is for you. Stay tuned and let's get into it. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. This is the very first video, and your subscription, your likes, and your shares will go a long way to help a lot of persons out there who are also waiting and hoping to get all of this information that I'll be leaving here for y'all as we go into the video. Thank you. So how to prepare for your CR1 and IR1 interview in Lagos? That's the first thing I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be reading from some of my I wrote it down here in my a piece of paper where I can just lay out all the points. Yes, so what is the first thing I need to do when I get my interview letter? What is the first thing I need to do? Number one, get all the original documents, all the original civil documents you submitted with NVC. Get the original and make copies of it. Just make maybe 2-3 copies. No, 2 copies is okay for each of those original documents you already submitted. So get the original and make copies. So you're going to go to the embassy on that day with both the original and the copies. My next video, I'll be telling you all the documents that you need for your interview. So stay tuned and watch. So number one thing is to get all your civil documents and the copies ready as soon as you get your IL. Okay, number two, while still running around getting all your documents, you have to also know that time is not waiting for you. Once you get your IL, the next thing to do that same day, just schedule a medical appointment. If you're in Lagos, you schedule your medical appointment with Q Life Family Clinic. Q Life Family Clinic. So once you get your IL, there is a link in that interview letter that you have to click on. It will show you the hospitals that are recommended by the embassy. So if you stay in Lagos, you register with Q Life Family Clinic, and then you go there on the day of your medical exams and make sure you're early. There are documents that you need to go with. You need to go with your passport, if I'm not mistaken. Please just make sure that you write some of them down and also check some of the requirements. You can call them. They will tell you all the things that they require. Like in my case, I had to call to make sure that I get all the information that I needed. So you go with your passport, your passport that is not expired yet, and you also have to make a copy of the biographic page. They're going to take that from you, and yeah, and then pay your medical exam whatever fees online. You got to do that online. And if you have not been immunized before, you have to also do your immunization, but you do that with them when you get there. So what I'm just trying to put there is that on the day, also have your ATM card with you. Make sure there's money in your bank account, because if you don't have your immunization record, when you get there, they're going to do it for you, and that costs you a lot of money. So make sure you have enough money in your bank account and go with your ATM card. So the next thing is number 3 now is go through your IL to make sure you're not leaving anything out. I mean, you have to go through that a lot, because on your IL simply stands for interview letter. On your IL, you'll be told all the documents that you need for your interview So make sure you go through your IL as many times as possible so that you don't leave out any vital documents, because you don't want to go for your interview and then after doing everything right, they tell you to submit another document. That will take you time before you get your visa approved. So you don't want to be in that category. So make sure you go through your IL to ensure that all of the documents that you need for your interview are ready and well set up. So the next thing you need to do is to get your proof of marriage ready. Get your proof of marriage. This is very, very important. These are some of the things that you also require on your interview day. So get your proof of marriage. Proof of marriage include your marriage certificate, your wedding photos, moments you shared together, places you all visited, like the photos that you all took basically, and then your call logs that shows that both of you have been communicating. You can print as many as possible. Then also do that as well for messages like text messages, WhatsApp messages, Instagram, Facebook. During my case, I made sure I had bit of all of those things. Though sometimes they may not ask, but they ask a lot of persons to submit theirs. So you don't want to go there and be like, oh, I didn't know. No, you have to be ready. So make sure you get your proof of marriage really, really ready and arranged. Most especially the photos, they don't need the singles, they need the ones that both of you are together in those pictures. So just make sure you print out pictures that both of you were in together, like maybe you visited the beach, snap, So my case, I made a lot of that. And then to make it very easy for you, get an album, a beautiful album, and put all those photos inside the pocket there. It's going to be unique. So once they ask you to submit there, you just give them the whole album. Once it goes through it, the CO will be impressed by seeing all of that. You don't necessarily need all, but just make sure you get the vital ones, like your photos, the one with you and your wife, the one with you, your wife, and your family. Things like that. Very important. So the next one is get your IRS tax transcript. Very, very important. And I also will suggest just hold your affidavit of support. That is not necessary in most cases, but just make sure you hold it at one side. They may not ask you that one at all, but just to be on the safe side. But the most important thing is your tax transcript. They will love to see that. So make sure you print out copies of the tax transcript. If your interview is in April and you check the American website, you will see when they are supposed to file for tax 2022. So if your partner is in the United States and you have an interview outside the date, I think it's April 15th. I can't really say, but please verify that information. Make sure that you tell your spouse in the U.S. to file the recent tax if the one for 2021 has expired. So it's the recent tax transcript that they will need. So make sure you get the copies of all of that ready. So when you get there, they're going to ask you for that. There's no two ways about it. You will ask you for your tax transcript, your United States spouse tax transcript. Make sure you have that. You can also have the 2021 and the 2022. But if your interview falls before the 2022 tax transcript is if it falls before that time, then you can use your 2021. But if it falls after the 2021 has expired, you got to use your 2022 tax transcript. Ask of that. You also need to get your police clearance certificate. I said I don't want to go through all the documents because I want to make another video for all of that. But I just feel that some people may not get the chance to watch that video again. So make sure you get your recent police clearance certificate. You can just get, if you're in Lagos, just go to I think it's criminal something Alagbon. I think that's where it is. I can't remember the real address, but I will put it while I'm posting the video. I just put the address there for you. Then you can go there and make the recent police clearance character, whatever certificate they call it. when I did mine, I paid 50,000 naira. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know how much it is now. Make sure you go there and don't act like you have too much money, because trust me, this is Nigeria. So you have to be very, very careful. Yeah, I've talked about that. Then the next thing you have to do is to go through your form I-130 and DS-260. Very important. Why do I need to go through my form I-130 and DS-260? Because you provided some answers to some questions there, or your spouse provided some answers to some questions there. You have to know all of those things. So when they ask you a question from that, you don't want to go there and start moping. Make sure that you go through all of those documents. You can, if you can't, you can find that on your CEAC website. When you go there, you log in. You will find your I-130. You can also find your DS 260. Make sure you have those information studied. You study them like you're going for exam. You are That's it, like you are going for an exam, so you have to be really, really prepared. Make sure that all of the answers you provided on those things, you know them, like the address and so on. I can't say all of that before because the video will be too long. So make sure you study your form I-130 and your DS-260. So many people may not tell you that, but please do. Yeah, those are the information that the CEO will ask you questions from, and to see if you know what you're saying. So if you start giving wrong answers, then you start raising eyebrows, then you put yourself in a very, very tense situation, because they're going to ask you questions that, like, I'm telling you. So you have to be 100% ready. Then the next thing, I've talked about I-130 and DS-260. So the next thing here, it says, on the day of interview, please go to the embassy early. Yes, if you are living far from the embassy, make sure you get a hotel close. Don't say the money is too. See, bro, some of you have waited for about 2 to 3 years now. You don't want to be too miserly that you let your interview slip away because you didn't want to spend a little bit more. So if you live very far from the embassy, I'm telling you now, go straight to hotels.com or something and book a hotel that is close to the embassy. You can book 2 nights, you can book 1 night. Just make sure that you book at least a day before your interview. So that way you are able to wake up and just, for me, I booked a hotel very close to the embassy, but just like 5-10 minutes away from the embassy. So I didn't have to go through all those, early morning VGC and Lekki hold up. I didn't go through any of that. I just woke up and 10 minutes, I'm already there. I got to the embassy as early as possible. My interview was 7. I got there 5:30. Yeah, I got there 5:30 to avoid any rush, you know what I'm saying? So I was there from the beginning. I had to wait until it got to when they started, telling us to go in and checking our documents. So make sure you book a hotel close to the embassy if you live very far. But if you live close to the embassy, you don't need to do that. Just make sure you wake up very early and take a ride, or maybe you drive to the embassy if you know the place. So what to expect on your interview day. I'm trying to make sure this video is no more than 25 minutes. What to expect on your interview day. Number one, I just put some things here. Make sure you have your document and copies ready to avoid people charging you outrageous amount for printouts. I am telling you, once you are going to the embassy, you see some people by the roadside. When you get close to the embassy, some people by the roadside trying to stop your car. Don't stop. Just drive straight to the embassy. If you're taking Uber, just let the person take you straight. Don't wind down for anybody. Just go straight. When you get to the place where you see the office or see officers where they will stop you and direct you to where you're supposed to be, just go straight. Don't listen to anybody. Make sure that everything on your IL, that interview letter contains a lot of things. So make sure everything that they ask you to provide, you have everything there. Plus the one I'll be doing in my next video, the documents you need to take along with you when you're going. Make sure you have everything in files, maybe in a file or in files, whatever way you want to do it. I'm telling you, when you get to the embassy, they will tell you you can't go in with bag. When they tell you to go put your bag somewhere, you have to pay for that. Yeah, that will cost like 2,000 to put your bag and phones with those particular set of people. When you get to that place you want to put your bag, please don't listen to anybody. They will tell you that there is a particular receipt for the one you paid for your whatever that you need to print out, please don't listen to them. They didn't ask you for that. That's not part of the things on your interview letter. So don't print that out. I made a huge mistake. I told the lady to print it out for me. I was thinking maybe probably, even if they wanted to charge me, I was thinking 2,000. Maybe 1,000 each, maybe 2,000 each. I still want to afford the Mugu to do that. Guess what? When they printed that for me, they told me that that was very important. If I don't get there, blah, 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 I'm not going to be able to, and they're not going. I'm going to be sent back and everything. And I panicked. I got every other document ready, but I panicked at that a little bit, and I told them to print that out for me. Normally they charge me for each 15,000 naira for each copy. That means they printed 2 copies. That's 30,000. I told the woman, please remove it. I don't have that. Say, you're not going to let you do your interview. Blah 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 blah. Please don't. They didn't ask you for that. Guess what? I ended up paying 10,000 naira for 2 printouts that I would do 600 naira in my area. So please, I'm telling you now, I'm giving you first-hand information. Don't go there and start panicking. Make sure everything you need, you provide, you have them in your file. Don't listen to anybody else. In as much as you know everything you need, you have them. Don't panic. Don't be afraid. You're good to go. So the next thing is, do not be overconfident. Yes, don't think it's as easy as just going there and showing up. No, a lot of people were denied on the day I went for the interview. And that's a story for another video, because it's a very long, if I start with that story now, you're probably not going to be able to watch the whole video. But I tell you, it was not as easy as you think it is on the internet. When you get there, some people 2 minutes, they're already out, the visa ready. Some people, they'll be there, they'll be interviewed by 2-3 different consular officers. At the end of the day, their cases will be pushed to administrative processing, or some denied. So please don't be overconfident. Don't think it's so easy. You just go there. No, be prepared. And I'll give you a clue before I end this video. That one of the questions that you need to prepare for the most is, how did you meet your spouse? That question is, everybody will come across that question. Please sit down and practice your answers very well. Don't make it too long. Don't make it too short. Make sure that vital informations are there, because if you go there and start giving too much stories, you put yourself into trouble. The consular officers, they are listening and listening really, really hard to every information that you're giving. If you lie and they just have a little feeling, slight feeling that you are lying, kiss that interview almost goodbye, because you are going to be in serious trouble. They will make sure they quiz you until you are so scared. So please make sure that you are prepared. That question is the biggest question. A lot of people put themselves into trouble when they heard, how did you meet your spouse? They started talking, we met. I don't want to go through all of that. I have stories for that. A lot of people that I sat back and watched that really fumbled on that. So please, I will do another video for that. So make sure that you practice your own carefully. How did you meet your spouse? Don't lie. Just make sure you make it as short and sweet as possible. So when you get there, you just give them pam. When they ask you a question on some of the things you said, you're able to give answers to it without being afraid. Yes. And the next thing is, make sure you have practice answers to possible questions, and then pray and believe it's possible. Pray and believe that it is what? It is possible. Yeah, I've given you most of the clues to for your CR1 and IR1 interview. Should there be other informations, I'll make sure I do that in my next video. My aim is to make sure that everybody passes their interview. I want to give you as detailed information as possible. I'm not here to tell you sweet talks and everything. I'm here to tell you the real thing. When you get there, is a real different ball game entirely. So everything that you know, everything that you think that you know, everything that you think you need to know, please do them. So make sure that you practice well. Make sure that you are prepared. Make sure that you pray. Don't be overconfident, and don't lie, because the consular officers, they're watching your countenance. They're watching your countenance. They're watching every move, your eye contact and everything. Be firm on your whatever you're saying, and then do not argue. Some people went there and they were trying to argue with the consular officer. I'm telling you, that's the biggest mistake you will ever make. So don't argue with the consular officer. Listen first. I will tell you this. Listen carefully before you speak. Allow them drop their question. When they finish with their question, think a little bit and then you speak. And be confident with what you're saying, but don't be too confident. Don't over smile. People say smile when you get it. Yeah, just put up a normal face. Don't be go there with a stern face like you're about to kill somebody. And don't go there like you're a happy doll. It works for some people, it doesn't work for everybody. So make sure you go there and be your normal self. And I wish you all the best. Please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you press the like button so that a lot of people, this video can be recommended to a lot of people out there. Make sure that you share this video. Make sure that you comment on this video and stay tuned so that when I post the next video, which is very vital, the document you'll be taking for the interview, that you get that as soon as possible. And I'm going to tell you my experience getting here as well. It's a lot of things I want to share, but I can't do that in one video. So thank you so much and see you soon. Love you and peace out.